ghostwritingip.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bold Inventor Show. I'm JD Houvener, and we're kicking off our December episode here. We've got Matt Kulseth with me. Matt, good day to you.
What's up, JD? How's it going? Hey, everyone.
Yeah, doing good, man. I've got my new iMac all set up. I got it dialed in just before we went live, and dang, I'm looking at all my wrinkles and stuff coming in. This new camera is like not helping me out.
You got to touch that appearance up, son.
I know. Right now, I'm full action, no touch-ups. Zooming on those moles and wrinkles, folks, if you're on video.
Real deal. This is 40, man. This is 40.
Yeah, it's 40. We got our guest waiting backstage, Doug Crowe. Just actually talked with Doug yesterday. He's an inventor. He's also a publisher, book guy, extraordinaire. So it'll be really fun to have him on. So stay tuned. Matt, how's your day going? Good.
Great.
Good.
Yeah, no
great.
Complaints.
Love it. Well, we're here at the Bold Inventor Show. So if it's your first time stopping in, we're attorneys and we're having some fun. We're talking about legal information, sharing our knowledge, but we're not going to be talking about anything confidential. So sorry about that. If you do have something confidential, click on our weekly live link. Let me put that in here for you. And you can schedule a free discovery call. And I mentioned this, and no one's hit me up for it, Matt. It's been a month or two. They get a free mug, a Go Big, Go Bold Patents mug if you mention the live show. So if you book a discovery call on that link, weekly live, you can enjoy a ceramic mug that is perfectly emblazoned with our logo, Matt.
I love it.
To encourage you to go big, go bold. We have got, like I said, we got a guest coming soon. We've got about 6 different questions to go through. I do want to mention we have a priority pass for anybody who's watching live. I see we have a few live viewers. Actually, it's down to just one live viewer. Don't leave yet. We're going to prioritize your questions. So if you have anything you hopped on, we'll take you as a priority. We'll put you at our legal notice. There it is. You're not a client of Bold by joining alone, by asking questions. We're not your attorneys yet, perhaps. Maybe we will have clients on the show, though. But yeah, keep all confidential questions to those meetings. This is going to be obviously we're live across Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube today. If you have a question, click on the link above, and we'll get to it. Matt, let me pull up our questions that Amir has pulled up. These are we're into December. Okay, December 10th. Okay, so wow, just this week we've got 5. Let's do December 8th. Questions from Monday. This is out of Quora. These usually are a little more softball-y. And so let's warm things up with
a little more casual.
They are. They're kind of more cocktail party kind of questions, So here we go. Why is it, or why do some people claim to support free market capitalism, but abandon those principles when it comes to things like patents and subsidies? Whoa. Yeah. All right.
Taking the subsidies out of the equation.
Okay. Yeah. So free market capitalism. Okay. Sure. The concept of a patent is anti free market. It is a monopoly. It's a legal limited monopoly.
Artificially created monopoly.
Yep. And so it is still a financial free market incentive, though, for that inventor to want to share what they've come up with, their hard-earned technology, whatever it is, the product, solution, system. Instead of them keeping it to themselves, they're sharing that knowledge, in exchange getting a up to 20-year limited monopoly to exclude anyone else from making, using, or selling that product. So that's my quick take on that. Matt, do you have anything that you would say? Anything else I'm missing from that?
Yeah, no, I think, I don't think that the two are mutually exclusive, obviously, but I do think that when we're talking about like policy, capitalism, whatever, right? You do have to look at, why you would want to create an artificial monopoly. for patents, right? And it's to promote the useful arts, which means science, right? Technology. We're trying to promote, we're trying to drag our society into the future, right? And we do that by incentivizing, businesses, inventors, corporations with a monopoly for a limited time.
Yeah. Right.
Otherwise, if we don't do that, who's going to, obviously put the money, the R&D, and the time in to develop these, next generation technologies? If anyone can use them freely.
Yeah, I think a good way to think about it is, what if the patent system didn't exist, and we had likely all the big companies you can think of huddling around their R&D departments, making these interesting, cool things, and keeping as much as possible trade secret, keeping as much as
there'd be very little incentive to innovate more than you absolutely had to create a competitive advantage in the marketplace, right? Because any incremental advancement you make can be copied immediately by your competitors. So there wouldn't be anyone swinging for the fences in terms of innovation in the United States.
Yep. All right, Matt, we've got another one from Cora. We'll do a few more here. This is a copyright trademark question. Very timely. We've got Christmas in the question here. It's like a small timey, mom and pop type inventor, but I think it's a great question. For Christmas, I want to make a blanket for my friend with each season of his favorite show. I was going to put each season's poster. Would that be considered copyright or trademark infringement?
No, unless you're selling them.
Nailed it.
I mean, technically speaking, any reproduction is a copyright infringement, but you're not going to get in trouble unless you were actually selling these for a commercial purpose. So, technical copyright infringement, sure. Realistic, no. So,
yeah,
the word sounds great. I hope your friend loves it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rad. De minimis, right? De minimis use, right? That's the Latin term there. All right.
Inconsequential.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's do one more trademark, and then we'll do a patent question, and then get to our guest.
Sounds good.
Jonathan, good to see you. He thought that was a great answer. Probably on yours there, Matt. Okay. 2-part question. I like it. Where are we at? How am I going to start this? So I submitted a trademark infringement report on Amazon for a product using our registered mark without permission. The product is counterfeit, and we've never authorized it. Amazon rejected the report automatically, saying it's a repeated claim against the same ASIN IP combination, even though the issue hasn't been resolved and the listing is still live. I included the updated evidence showing the trademark misuse, but it seems like no one actually reviewed it. What are my options?
That's tough. Persistence is important when you're dealing with Amazon brand registry folks. Okay. It's I always tell people, like, having been a vendor with Amazon, and obviously being a customer of Amazon's, right? They treat their customers really well, but if you're a vendor, you don't get first class service with Amazon. So what does that mean for you? If you're a brand owner, do you have access to the Amazon brand registry, assuming you have a valid application or trademark registration on file with the USPTO? And then, you can make these claims against, competitors who are ripping you off using your ASIN, your item number, essentially, right? To tag.
Is it like a US? Is it like a?
Yeah, it's like a UPC, essentially, right? It's an identification number that's typically tied to one SKU over various potential vendors. So if they're trying to delist this other product who's, essentially ripping them off, I'd want to see kind of what their argument as to why. Basically, like, you can't prevent people from reselling your products on Amazon. So if this is a legitimate product that someone has purchased and is reselling on Amazon, they can't prevent people from doing that.
Interesting. So, yeah, they're saying, I guess that Amazon's saying on this question asking, they're saying that, hey, it's a repeated claim against the state.
Yeah, I think more research is needed here to determine what's the actual issue. I've seen that before with clients where they're mad that one of their vendors is selling their products on Amazon and undercutting their price, right? That happens pretty frequently, where you might sell 1,000 widgets to a vendor who's supposed to sell them gift shops across, the state of Minnesota. But then they go and they sell them on Amazon for $5 less than you're selling them on Amazon.
Yeah.
It happens, right? So
Yeah.
that's where, you got to have a good business attorney when you enter into these contracts, right? If you expect them not to sell online, that has to be stated in the vendor agreement. So
excellent. So get a hold of Matt if you have further questions.
get a hold of me, and I'll find someone else to talk, you can talk to about the dealing with Amazon. Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right, let's do one more. This is on the patent side from Reddit, and then we'll get to our guests. So you still have time if you're on now. If you're even watching after the fact, hop on. Every Wednesday we're live at 12 o'clock Pacific time. So if you missed us, you can hop on next week, ask your question. I have an idea I would like to patent, but building a prototype is beyond my ability, both technically and financially. To get an idea of the issues, think about intermittent wipers. Can an application be filed with basically a PowerPoint presentation? Short answer is yes. An application could be filed with small amount of information, but it's not going to be all that valuable. A patent application, even a provisional, its main purpose is to hold your place, and it's to allow that priority date. So the information submitted, in your provisional must encompass what you eventually want to get a patent on. And so if you only file a real thin surface level, not a lot of details, no meat on the bone description of your invention, you're not going to be able to claim priority back to your provisional. And so, doing it like you said, quick PowerPoint, it's not going to really meet the bar in most cases to substantiate, be able to claim back to that later on. What I would say is if you've got an issue prototyping, getting a solid provisional patent application is going to be a way to go, so long as you've done the research to say this is patentable or not. To see this step even before filing, Matt, doing a solid search to look and see, is this invention, how different is it from the prior art, from other patents, other publications on the same subject matter. So you have a really clear idea in terms of, here's what I think I could get a patent on, and knowing how to craft that provisional. It's a really awesome way to go. Instead of just covering the whole thing about the product or system solution you got, instead you're going to focus on just what you think is novel. And it helps you really focus in and get more, granular on the detail, where to focus on, how to even show pictures, drawings. They can be informal, which is wonderful. You can save a lot of time and money not paying for really high-end CAD drawings, and a provisional will get you locked in. That's the time, once you're patent pending, you can start reaching out to fabricators, manufacturers, or even raising money to go, like you said, financially go raise some money to get it built. That's the time where you can go test it, build it, iterate. And if you've done it right, your final product, once you've got it, hopefully within a year, you can file the non-provisional, and it'll stand on the shoulders of your provisional that you filed. Case closed.
Then we make the money. Then we're good, right?
Then we're good. Absolutely. Matt, are you ready to bring on our guest here?
Let's do it. Yeah.
There we go. All right, Doug, welcome to the show. Doug Crowe. Appreciate you being on.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, Doug.
Absolutely. Thanks for waiting patiently as we go through all those questions that have come
very
in.
Interesting stuff. I love it.
Good. Man. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've got a bunch of books behind you, very interesting background, and tell us what you're working on these days.
Yeah. Well, I was raised a poor sharecropper son. No, I was I spent 20 years in the real estate industry as a developer, investor, and a trainer. And during the big crash 2008, during my little boohoo phase, if everything went down the sewer, I wrote a book, and the book was awful. I mean, it's so bad I didn't even publish it. But I was able to contact some people I had a radio show on ABC, and I contacted some people who were very famous authors. And they said, oh, yeah, well, we're famous authors, but we're not famous writers. I'm like, well, what is that? What's the difference? And I figured out that, some of the most famous books you've known are ghostwritten. So we defined and outlined our own ghostwriting process with a journalist, ghostwriter, editor, production team that helps busy founders and CEOs and people who want to be published, have a personal brand, do that for them. And all they got to do is talk to a journalist for, 8 or 12 hours over the course of a few months.
Got it. So that's your main gig now is dougcrowe.com. That's your consulting work.
That's my personal site. My business site is authoryourbrand.com. That's I put up the Doug Crowe site just to get credentials with the Entrepreneur Magazine, quite frankly. They needed that. And like, I didn't need it, but they needed it. So authoryourbrand.com is my business site.
Okay. Got it. I'll put that in here too.
Okay, great.
Well, good.
I love that, Doug. Very, very humble of you, I will say.
Is that a joke?
No. I mean, you're selling yourself obviously way shorter. So clearly,
I had to apply and I had to submit stuff, and they needed a personal brand site. So I'm like, okay, fine. So, and I was so lazy on the email. It's my email is doug@dougcrowe.com, which is shorter than authoryourbrand.com. So when I do these interviews, sometimes people say, "Well, look at your website here." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. My business is books, but I don't even mention it on my personal site too much." So,
okay,
branding issue.
So let's go back over what you said. You unpack a bit. So you're saying that the books that are published today, oftentimes are ghostwritten. What percentage are we talking about?
We have no idea. That's why we're ghostwriters, right? We don't know.
Yeah, right.
I've heard rumors that some of the people you've heard about, like, what, really? But the ones that I spoke to, I can tell you who they were. I mean, one was Robert Kiyosaki, and the other one was Laurel Langmeyer. Both very upfront about it, like, oh yeah, ghostwriters. It's just because they're busy, and writing well. Think about this. Hollywood spends, I don't know, $100 million to hold my attention for 2 hours with famous actors and explosions and stuff. As an author, you're expecting to hold someone's attention for 4 to 6 hours with ink on paper.
Yeah.
So unless you're an exceptional storyteller, I'm sorry, but it's really tough to hold someone's attention for 4 to 6 hours with a nonfiction book, especially. Here I am in the boardroom. It's different.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I've been through a lot of school, as you can imagine, to become a lawyer.
Sure.
I hate reading. It's like it's been burned. I don't read. I mean, it's hard to tell my kids.
You and I have never talked about this. I was the same way for like 15 years, basically, and picked it up after.
Audible. We talked about Audible.
So you're back into reading, Matt?
Yeah, I got it a couple years ago. But I mean, law school killed me for a decade when it came to like reading.
I don't know how you guys memorize all those case law. How do you do that? It says, do you have like a memory system or file system or what? I mean,
well, no, I had the little Cliff Notes summaries, and that's how I survived. But no.
So the TV attorneys are smarter than the real ones. Is that what you're saying? They memorize all these things and they can roll it off.
Every law school student experience is different. I was talking to someone about this. I was a lone wolf. I just hacked my way through. I didn't enjoy it. Some people love it and they talk about it.
Weren't you engaged or married at the time too?
Yes, I was married and I was working full time. So I'm just
basically me, right? I was married as well. You're a lone wolf. You're not going to be out at the bar.
There's no hangout and like just chat about how we're feeling about.
I'm here for the degree, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
you guys are too young to remember, but I watched The Paper Chase for a while. The TV show and the movie came out, I think, in the 70s. But yeah.
Okay. So with I mean, I don't want to jump. AI comes in everywhere. Can we talk AI briefly and how that's impacting writing, ghostwriting,
oh my gosh,
your business?
Right. When it first got, it's been around for decades, right? But it got popular 2-3 years ago. And for about 3 weeks, I was nervous, man. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh my God, you could write a whole book now. And what am I going to do? And then I started using it. I'm like, I'm safe. Because
using it and actually reading.
For now.
I at the caveat, I'm still safe for a while because, yes, it doesn't really create anything. It regurgitates something that's read somewhere else, right? That's the way the algorithm works a certain way. So, in the realm of possibilities, a plethora of information. I use all these stupid words that nobody talks like this. So I can instantly tell when clients submit their manuscripts to me that, hey, I've already written the book. I just need you guys to produce and publish it. And I read it. I'm like, okay, do you want me to de-AIify this thing, or are you good with it the way it is? Because I can tell within a paragraph if it was AI or not. It's just still clear to me. Because the amount of prompting that is required to get it to sound like you is sometimes faster just to write it yourself if you can craft a good story. So yes, it can adapt, it can learn a voice, it can do those things. It's great for short form. I use it for emails and workflows all the time. But we have a rule at our company. Nothing gets published without a human being editing it, even if it's just a word. I can't stand having the robot represent me. So.
Right.
That's
That's
very
interesting that you as an expert in this field, right? Like you can identify the AI stuff pretty quickly. Like it's that kind of uncanny valley they talk about, right? Like you look at something that's AI created and it just doesn't quite look right.
Think of it like an art critic who can tell a fake from a real one, where you and I look at something and go, wow, that was beautiful. I'm like, it's fake because of the brushstroke has a different hair fine, whatever.
It's too glossy, a little too glossy.
Yeah. So I can still tell. And like you said, Matt, that might not be forever. Maybe in a very, very near future, I won't be able to tell. Right now, it's still very rudimentary what it does. But as soon as it can, neural plant into my brain or, read all my socials
I'm
and
tired
my
of
history and my birth
here.
certificate, it's going to get bad or good, I guess. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I use it every day for stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to conveying a person's story and energy and feeling and experiences, AI cannot experience things. So there's energy between the lines on a well-written manuscript that it cannot do. It will never do that. It will never feel, right? It will just regurgitate.
Yep. Well, my wife and I own a bookstore, and my wife very much is the one that runs it. Here in Moses Lake. And again, I haven't read, have not made it a habit, not interested in it, but all sorts of different subjects cracked me up. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you wouldn't believe how much smut or really dirty romance gets sold, and what's in those books. Those sweet old ladies are reading." And then, all the Westerns. And then there's all the fantasy. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
The gaming and fantasy. Manga. There's just a whole world of reading. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And we're starting to thrive.
Right.
Is there a certain genre that, I don't know, you've created a niche at all, or in any type of specific, type of client that you love working with?
I love working with founders who have an interest in making the world a better place. I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but it comes from a story of I've had clients approach me, and this one guy called me up years ago, and amazing story. The youngest spy ever recruited by Castro, double agent for CIA, hung up with Ollie North. I mean, just his story was so fantastic. I'm looking up on Wikipedia to make sure it wasn't just BSing me. Right? Like, this is amazing. This is great, right? And he had the funds to do any size project he wanted. That's as far as I can say about where those funds came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the most legal thing. So that was my first red mark. I'm like, I don't know about that. But then I asked him a very important question. I asked all my authors, like, who does this serve? Why would someone want to read this? What are they going to do when they close the book down and put it away? What's the impact here? And he stuttered.
Ooh.
And I'm talking to my business coach, a couple weeks later, and he's reviewing some of my phone calls and goes, "Oh, you were excited about this guy and you had a great conversation. This other guy, you were kind of bored. What's with that?" It goes, "Oh, it was all about him, his ego. It didn't serve humanity at all. Nothing wrong with that, but I wasn't interested in that." And he said, "Well, why do you talk to him then?" "Well, he called me up. It's like 30% of my calls are people who want to be slightly famous." And he said, "Stop talking to those people if they're not going to work with them." I'm like, all right, it's 30% of my call volume dropped. Business doubled.
Hey, by cutting out a certain
by cutting out 30% of the people I shouldn't be talking to. Again, this is a weird mathematical problem, but yeah, my business doubled when I stopped talking to about 30% of the people.
Pretty interesting. Yeah.
Did you pick up that golden nugget, JD, that Doug just
I'm trying to pick it up right now. I mean, it's big. I think I've heard it 100 times. It's one of these things like, Pareto.
I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, you kind of work with your top 20% of your clients. You can kind of make that your whole business and then market.
Yeah, and one of my buddies told me, if you obsess over your client's success, you'll never have to work ever again. So, obsessing over my clients, not my deliverables, right? Because that's a part of their success. I've got to obsess over their success. Yeah. And the more I do that, the more I find myself going down those rabbit holes of other things I can do to help them out or refer them. I do a lot of referrals to people because I know that's important to do that in the age of AI, to actually meet a human being and have a conversation.
That's so huge. It's so huge, Doug. I mean, I'm dealing with that right now.
Yeah.
A decade into my business, I've got a business coach. I'm telling him, gosh, for some reason, I'm a little flat.
Yeah.
I'm not pumped up. He's like, you need to go talk to your old clients and dig up success stories, do that whole thing. But actually, JD, it's for you to get excited about your own firm, to get pumped up again. And I'm like, interesting. You're right. I need to go talk to my clients.
How many people file a second, third, or follow up patent after they do the first one?
I don't have the data. I would guess less than half, maybe 30 to 30% file more than one. Yeah.
I've got one client who's got 25. I mean, he's prolific. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, there's people that are just like they're idea machines.
Most end up, unfortunately, once and done, and that's because it's hard as hell. It's hard as hell to go make money with an idea, with an invention.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, what we end up selling is confidence. We give someone that validation that this is real. This invention is patented. Somebody else validated this is concrete.
Yeah.
Well, now what? You got to go bring it to the world. That is giant. And sometimes
I got a question. Can I ask a question on your show?
Please.
What percentage of patents now are physical products versus digital tech?
You're asking really good questions. Really good questions. Again, I would guess half.
That impresses me because it feels to me like everything is digital nowadays, and I'm not going to invent a new iron or a new way to do.
No, there's tons of products. In fact, I could if you guys want to chat on something, I could pull it up. I just got off a great call with a new client that's starting up with us doing weightlifting devices and products. Like, yeah, heck yeah,
okay,
product. It's cool. Different gadgets.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up our granted. And by the way, it is on our website, boldip.com. I'll show it off since you asked the question.
Yeah.
Let me share a screen. Everybody out there watching.
Because I'm a geek at heart. I look at stuff all the time. Like, oh man, that's a cute little tool for my word shop. People invent cute, small physical products. But it feels in my world, everybody's doing technical, digital stuff.
Yep. So right here on our home screen, we've got some happy clients.
Nice. There you go.
This right here, 450. We're actually at 500 plus now. But you can click here and see our work. And it's a spreadsheet of granted patents. Now, I haven't updated it since October.
Okay.
But here's all the patents we've gotten issued. And you can look through, and you probably get your glasses or a microscope. But it's, magnetic headband, a wiper blade.
Oh, the wiper blade guy, I think was on earlier. Yeah. My invention, the wiper blade had a sensor in the glass that when the water hit it, it conducted electricity, and the more water, the wiper blades would go more. That was my idea.
Ooh. Okay. You see, there's lots of things that you can probably touch and feel here. Wrench pocket, tire deflation device, a scarf. I mean, these are 2025 light covers, needle capper, barbell handle. I mean, these are real physical products.
Yeah.
I think for us, it's about half, but maybe overall it's less than half. Yeah.
Tangible stuff in this country. That's
I know on the trademark side, I think it's about 60% product, 40% service applications.
Okay.
I know that it's pretty close on the trademark side. If that's any indication of, but I can't tell you if that's changed over time too, though, right?
Can I ask another question? It's supposed to be your show.
You know what? Absolutely. I love it.
I talked to two guys.
We've got good questions. We've got bad answers, Doug.
Because there are people who are inventing things, and one guy, he hasn't gone to market. He's so focused on his trademark versus a patent. Like, why don't you build it and sell some stuff first? What do you need trademark for? There's no trade yet. Am I wrong? Would I be wrong in saying that? If he's got
so you can file an intent to use trademark application to give yourself like up to 3 years of runway before you go to market.
Yeah. See,
so that you secure the brand before you launch. That's kind of the idea.
I just mean wasting all this time and money on that. I'm like, you should be selling the stuff and then you can clean it up later. But that's just me.
It depends on how you approach the marketplace, right? Some clients are already in the marketplace with a successful product that they need a trademark file now. Others are going to be more strategic and they're bringing a product to market and they got, time and money to plan for it. And we'll plan accordingly in that case.
All right. Well, one guy's got the money. The other guy doesn't. Okay. Thank you. I'm done with my questions for now.
Yeah, I think, well, no, keep them coming. But I would say, I'm sure Matt would add that, if you want to do it right, you don't want to go into the market blind. You don't want to have to be in a situation to have to rebrand after you started selling products.
Right.
And customers are used to your name. That's going to be tough. So
doesn't matter if you're a big company, little company, medium company. If you have to rebrand and it's not on your time, and it's on your dime, whew,
Yeah.
that is not fun.
Mhm.
Yep. I love what you say, Matt, too, about at the end of the day, when you're ready to sell your company, what are you selling?
You're
Your
selling
brand.
the trademark, the brand, the goodwill.
Yeah.
So
Goodwill.
that,
Right.
company,
That is
right?
what you actually
You
end.
can't
That is
own
what
the trademark. You
Yeah.
can't technically sell the goodwill, right?
Right. And if you got a good subscription model, then you're selling a higher multiple too. That's always a good thing, but that's another story. Okay, got it. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're an inventor. You and I talked yesterday. And
Yes.
I think I did say, hey, don't share it publicly. So I don't know if we want to have you talk about that now.
Now I can talk about it. Like we discussed. I mean, it's a different kind of idea, and I'm going to be launching it in a few months. So if somebody copies it, that's my fault, I guess. But whatever. I think it's a big world out there. I'm not too concerned at it.
Okay,
So
cover high level, and I'll
the high level. We'll see if Matt gets it faster than you did, JD, because
I'm still kind of trying to get it. So
okay.
Here we go. Yeah.
So I'll forget the backstory for a second. That's too long. But the short version is when we read a nonfiction book.
Yep.
I'll use the example of the one that I've actually started to work on, Think and Grow Rich, which happens to be open source, a public domain property. When I read Think and Grow Rich, great book, great ideas, great theme, dated because it's written, before the, World War II. Actually, it's written a while ago, so it sounds kind of antiquated. Talk about J.P. Morgan and things like that.
Sure. Yeah.
It's written in a prose and a manner that the way they speak like an old radio announcer. The way they speak.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. I see where this is going.
So what I've done is I've created a system, platform, tech, whatever, that takes that public domain book and creates a co-author for it. So it'd be like Matt Kulseth and Napoleon Hill present Think and Grow Rich for the 2026.
This is
and
cool.
This book, this new version, is completely rewritten in your personality, Matt. It has embedded your goals, your obstacles, your aspirations, your challenges, your journey throughout the manuscript. So that's not talking, it might refer to JP Morgan. It might also drop in Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos, but it's going to talk about, hey, when you have your moments of doing these 3 exercises, this is the exercise to do for your company with specific things about what you need to accomplish, all written in your personality. So it feels more like, hey, yeah, this resonates with me internally because it reads the way I listen, the way I speak.
The way I think in my head, right?
There's no translation going on between like taking his idea and trying to apply it to me. No, your application is already embedded in the book.
I see. And that's part of your prompt, I assume, that you're building into the workflow.
Yeah, you answer some questions online and it regenerates the entire book in your personality, your goals, your stuff already done. It also has a text messaging and a voicemail platform that comes in with some accountability tools to keep you tracking.
I love that. I love that idea. And I mean,
you get it?
I do. I do get it. I do get it. And you know what? There's actually like there are a lot of classic books that people just don't read today because the language is antiquated, right? Like I picked up like Alexander Dumas's The Three Musketeers, or maybe it's the Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah. Really, it was a bad translation maybe, but I couldn't read the thing. The language was so old that it wasn't enjoyable, right?
Did you see the movie or read the book, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter or Vampire Slayer?
No. I know what you're talking about.
This was a great idea. Somebody came up with years ago. They took a public domain book and then put some popular culture in it. So Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Yep.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And I saw the movie. I didn't read the book, but I saw the movie. And they take actual things that happened, like his wife going crazy, losing a son. He lost a son to a vampire in this version.
Well, of course.
Right. So he's taking like real historical things and modern. It was so brilliant and they did really well with it. So that's not what my technology does. I'm focusing on the nonfiction world. Yeah. But yeah, you get it. It's an accountability tool that basically takes a public domain book and personalizes for the user. But I'm as a publisher myself, I have got a dozen clients all ready to go with this as well. So I'll take this guy's book and then any of his clients that want their own personalized version, they answer some questions. They get another version of the book written just for them. Sure. Or I suppose like you could also talk to your clients to be like, hey, like what books are inspirational to you? Like where do you fit in? Then I got thankfully I have I got you guys to back me up, but I've got, copyright issues. So I'm right now using public domain books and my clients' books with their permission. I can't go take somebody else's book and do it without permission from the publisher, the owner of the IP. So
Right.
Okay. I've got more questions for you, Doug. But
fire away, man.
Well, while we're there, are you interested in more clients? And can I drop a little link for someone to get?
Yes. I love telling other people's stories because we can usually tell better than they can. And we also have as far as we're doing marketing stuff here, we've got a process where we actually pre-distribute a person's book to about 10,000 readers before it's even written. It's very unique that we can pull this off because we take the time to do it, but we also focus on the nonfiction world where I can queue up channel partners with a big association or corporation, nonprofit, because I got a whole year to do it while we're writing the book. We do some very specific things in there so that when the book comes out, I've got launch partners and distribution already done. Most people are just begging to get someone to read their book. We do that like a year in advance, so we don't have to do any begging.
Doug, for your clients, your authors that you're working with, what are they hoping to get out of it? Like, obviously at the end of the day, it's a book, right? But are they hoping for credibility? Are they hoping for monetary sales? I mean, I guess tell me, like, realistically, what are they looking for when they work with you?
Great question. Number one, there's no money in books.
Right. I wasn't going to say the quiet part out loud, but
yeah, I can say it out loud. I say it every week to somebody. Tucker Max did a analysis on the ability to sell, or the historical numbers of selling 1 million copies versus winning the lottery. It's more likely you win the lottery than sell 1 million copies of your book. Sorry to depress anybody out there who wants to become the next J.K. Rowling, but tough hill to climb. However, my clients invest a lot of money in their, in publishing their book because of what you just mentioned. Number one, legacy. I've thrown away business cards. I don't remember what I commented on social yesterday, or let alone 2 hours ago, but a book is we never put a book in the garbage. A book is permanent. So it still has value over and above every other piece of marketing. From what you said, credibility, respect, getting media interviews. I mean, God, I've told people before, the only way to get on TV nowadays is to be a athlete, a politician, or a criminal. And sometimes those last two are the same thing. The other exception would be an author, because unless you've invented something or written something, nobody wants to put you on TV because you're a good consultant. Boring. You got to be an inventor or an author. Those people get credibility or get more media attention. But a lot of my clients do it for legacy because, their kids didn't know what they did growing up because they're working their butts off. A lot of them use it for the lead gen, for shortening sales cycles on enterprise clients, what we do a lot for our clients. And a lot of speakers, if you're a speaker without a book, it's hard to get booked as a, speaker somewhere. So a book is a lot of things. It can even do 2 or 3 of those things. It can really do all of that, but a lot of people use it for everything. But, business card, give them a book instead. Credibility, speaking, media, there's a lot of stuff. There you go. Look at that.
Lead magnet. I mean, this is basically just saying, hey, I know something about this subject, and I put it into a book, and cool. And you're right. I don't throw it away. I send it out to a client.
We write stuff down that's worth writing down, right? So.
The sad part about that, JD, is that 54% of books that are purchased are never opened. And of those that are open, half are never finished. So you got about a 1 in 4 shot.
No. Okay.
Well, that's important. That you got to put your good stuff in the beginning.
4 times as many.
You go on volume, but also make sure you put the best stuff in the beginning, because not everybody finishes a book. I mean,
not my 45-page bio. They don't want to. They don't want to hear my background. No. Okay. So I'm still trying to get your idea, Doug.
Yeah.
So this is my book with my 2nd edition. I've got a 3rd edition out, by the way, which is Bold AI Ideas. It's on Amazon. I don't even have my own copy of that one. You're saying that in theory, I could have a book written for a certain individual,
right? And
it'll be talking about their type of invention.
Yep.
Not generic. Like
it would take your your book. Your book concept probably talks about, some background on what, the ideas of how the patents process works, trademarks, all that stuff.
Yep.
And the person is in their mind, they're translating, how would I use this? How would I use this? What my technology does is it takes their challenges, the obstacles, lifestyle, circumstances, budget, personality, and it rewrites that entire book so that as you're reading it, you're still the author, but it's written specifically for that individual reader. So he's reading it going, oh my gosh, yeah, this sounds like me. Number one, that's their
Or
personality
if
type.
JD's book gave an example, maybe it would be an example that was more relevant to
Right.
the
And
reader
for a framework,
as opposed to Washington State.
Right. JD mentioned frameworks the other day. Like, so you will still have your framework in there as an example, but it'll drop in their idea in their book. So it's like, yeah, if you're working on your magnetic headband thing, here's some things to consider when doing that. Make sure you go to these places to double check stuff before you give the attorney to shorten his work, whatever. But it'll be very specific to their actual idea and their needs.
Wow.
So there's less translation going on in the person's head.
Okay, I got it. Sign me up, Doug. I mean, sign me up.
Okay, well,
yeah. I mean, seriously, that's pretty powerful.
So JD, you're talking. We're talking to Doug here, and like you and I had a conversation like this yesterday, basically. But what Doug's talking about, that's probably is. You think it's something that he can patent potentially, or is this more of like a business?
He and I did talk confidentially, and that was confidential. It really was, and it really was. So
I'll let my attorney answer that one. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Great question, Matt. And we had that conversation.
Well, you're working on it.
We're working on it.
Yeah, there's something that's patentable, right?
Oh, look, there are different ways to protect.
Yes, that's
inventions and ideas like this, and I'll speak generically that in business method solutions like this, patents is not always the best fit.
Right.
Okay, and it sometimes could be very arduous, very expensive, and business methods like at Boeing. I talk about this example a lot about how they knew just how to lay up the carbon fiber to make it really strong, the wings. But did they get a patent on that layup, that method, that process? No, they kept it all as trade secret because there's no way to reverse engineer to know the exact angles and how long to cook it and what type of heat treatment to put on it. You can't tell. And so at the end of the day, by reading a book, if I can't tell his method of making this book,
his recipe,
there's no reason to get a patent for it. The reverse engineerability test. So it happens a lot. The detectability, trying to find someone that's infringing steps 1 through 7, forget about it. Very, very challenging.
That's good to know, because I have some manual pieces of what I'm doing right now that I'm not using technology for. So maybe that'll protect me for a few more years. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and so, rounding it out, I mean, I think if patents isn't a good fit, trade secrets is the next best. And also, if you're going to be publishing it, copyright wins. Copyright wins the day. And it's common law, thank goodness, a lot like trademarks, where as soon as it's recorded and fixed in a book, fixed in a manual, recorded in a digital place where it's, finite, then you're all protected. And then the matter of getting it registered is more of a formality if there's ever a controversy. You can go get it registered at Library of Congress right before you sue or get sued. And it's there. That's your prima facie evidence. But it's by creation and labeling, you're all protected.
Do you guys do protection too on stuff, or just filing, or what do
we
you
do? Copyright, yes. We don't do a whole lot, but we do a whole lot more patent work and trademark than we do copyright. With copyright, there's little to any examination. It's really more about just identifying who, what, and where.
Yeah, did you fill out the form correctly? It's my experience at the Copyright Office, and like JD just said, Doug, for the most part, clients are putting copyright notices on their products, their materials that they're putting out into the world. Right. And there's an infringement, and we need to go get a copyright. Typically, it takes me a month or two to get them, and then we can enforce them if we need to. But it's not like a trademark or patent, which can take over a year to get.
Okay. Yeah. So we're my mission, my vision is to disrupt the literature industry in the nonfiction world, at least for now, and give everybody a chance to take their favorite author and contact them and say, hey, I want a personalized version of my book. Contact Doug and have him give you the technology so I can, personalize that book just for you.
Fantastic. Well, I let people loose with the Doug at dougcrowe.com. Do you have another way for us to reach out to you, or is that the best way?
That's the best way. If they want a free evaluation on their book, I've got an idea to write a book or whatever. I've got a free thing. I actually do some research for them. They can go to authorbrand.com/go.
Okay.
And there's an assessment there. I do a little 3-star Amazon review in your category, because nobody cares about 1-star reviews or angry people, and 5-star reviews are somebody's mother. But a 3-star review always gives good data on the category of how the book's performing. So there we go. So we copy and collate about 100 3-star reviews for you and put it into a spreadsheet so you can see what people are saying about that category. So when you go to craft your book or work with us to help you write it, we'll make sure we do what the audience actually wants.
Look at that. 3 stars. Who knew? That was the secret.
I stole that idea from somebody else, by the way, in case of ideas. My good friend
I suppose that's where you're going to get the best feedback, right? Because people are neutral. They appreciate the product, but they think there's opportunity for improvement.
Anybody who writes a 3-star review is thinking. They're not angry. They're not like, somebody's mother. Like they're actually saying, I liked it, but I was going to say something off color. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the book, but I wish they would have said this, or I wish they wouldn't have done that. And we copy over 100 reviews like that. We got data gold. It's really good intel.
Wow. I love it. I've always thought it equaled out to 3 because you got the super happy and the super pissed. No. And that equals 3. No, you're actually looking for. Yeah. I like it. Like I learned a ton. I picked up a few.
I'm not the I either give a 5-star review or no stars. Or I mean, not 0. Yeah. Either leave a 5-star review or I don't leave a review.
When we publish a book for a client, they generally get a bunch of 5-star reviews, and I tell them in advance, hey, just so you know, I'm writing you a 4-star. Really? You publish a damn book? I'm like, I know, but there's too many 5-star reviews.
But I've done better.
It looks fake. I got to write a couple 4 stars here and there. I won't do a 1 or a 2, but if I got to do a couple 4 stars, you got to have them in there.
Yeah. Doug, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you sharing your time and wisdom, experience with us, and very best of luck on your launch.
Thank you very much.
Doug, we have clients at the firm who want this kind of service.
Yeah, so they should publish what they're doing because it's one thing to have the social, email, speaking, podcast about them, but a book is permanent and it's a good foundation to build your brand on for sure.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of clients who are former subject matter expert professionals who are kind of trying to get more into that.
Yeah,
that public speaking, motivational speaking, coaching kind of space, and something like this is obviously like right up their alley.
Right. Yeah. We put a bunch of people on TEDx stages too. We got a whole stuff we do beyond the book to help them. Like I said, the distribution is big. We'll distribute it to a bunch of places before it even gets published. So,
fantastic. All right. Well, hang tight. Okay. We'll wrap up.
Thank you.
For Matt, myself, Doug, and Bold Patents, wishing you guys an awesome day. Go big, go bold.
Go bold at boldip.com.